Alright, so before we get into this video, I just want to say that this video is not about my ex. I previously the latest video I posted was about my crazy ex. So this video is not about her, but I'm gonna just speak on it real quick, and I'm gonna put a little timestamp for when you guys can skip to the rest of the podcast if you don't want to listen to this part. But if you watch that part of that video, that other video, it's a whole separate video. If you watched it, it's about 40 something minutes, close to 50. Just a whole bunch of lying and stuff to the point where, it got me in some trouble in school. Like, I am a high schooler. If you guys didn't know already, I'm 16 years old. Yeah, I'm not 25, surprisingly, whatever. But I got into some stuff, and then, eventually it got to my lawyer. I'm in this kind of I was in this situation where, I beat up this kid last year, November last year. He pressed charges. I was on probation for a year and a half. I finally got off and all this stuff, but, it became a problem legally and stuff like that. It was just a whole bunch. So if you want to get caught up on that, go watch that video. But I want to say that that stuff should be gone. She moved, to a different town. She moved schools, and it's just her. Like, her siblings, they still go here, but she's gone. So, yep. So I mean, let's get into it. We're gonna start off with this broad topic right here, and then we're gonna kind of fireball whatever comes to my mind, really. So, can dreams alter reality? Now, I'm so iffy with this, and this is something that is just coming to me. I used to believe, dreams mean something. Obviously, dreams do mean something, like it's your subconscious talking to you. I definitely believe that. But now I'm just now starting to think, can dreams alter reality? And now why I think this is because, like, a couple months ago, I was having a dream about, I was drinking coffee. Now the whole thing is, I woke up. It was one of those realistic dreams where it's like something going on in your actual life. So I woke up, and I get ready and all that. I go to work, but when I walk into work, I'm drinking coffee. Trying to get. I don't drink coffee to get my day started. That was just very stereotypical. I don't know, but I was drinking coffee to get my day started, and my manager comes out, and she's like, "Oh, you got coffee, whatever." And I'm like, yeah. So I'm drinking coffee now. In real life, I don't know if it's just a me thing or if this is like an everybody thing, but when I drink coffee, anytime I drink coffee, I get diarrhea like the same day or the day after. But I wake up from this dream where I'm drinking coffee, and mind you, I haven't had coffee, and like I don't really drink coffee. So I haven't had coffee like months prior to this dream. I did, like, not the day before, not the night, none of that. I haven't had any coffee, and I wake up. Guess what I have? Diarrhea the whole day. I have diarrhea after having a dream that I drink coffee, and coffee usually gives me diarrhea. So I'm like, yo, that's kind of weird. And then I just start thinking back on past instances where stuff like that has happened and things like that. Like, also, like, pee while you're dreaming of, like, peeing, you know what I'm saying? So is it, a lot of people think that it's you dream about peeing because you're peeing in real life, but I think, hey, maybe it can be the other way. Maybe you pee in real life because you dreamt that you're peeing. Now, I don't really recall my dreams much, but ever since I've been 6 years old, or the last unrealistic dream I had was probably when I was 10, 11 years old. 10, 11 years old was the last realistic dream I had. I mean, the last unrealistic dream I had. Other than that, they've all been realistic. So it's like dreams of, me getting up, doing stuff that I would usually do in real life. It's like me leaving my actual life, and then I wake up and I'm like, wait, this didn't actually happen. And it, like, shocks me, because I'm like, I thought I was living this and I was dreaming. And there are instances of this where, like, I've had dreams that I went to work and I'm working, and I'm like, hold on, this didn't happen. Like, and I go on about my day thinking, hey, like, this actually happened. I'm like, hold on, no. No, what? I'm like, I basically lived an extra day through my dream. I mean, dreams are just so weird. It's like you go into a whole nother universe when you're dreaming. And on my last podcast, I talked about this. I'm pretty sure that, I mean, dreams are just alternate realities. Or maybe I'm supposed to talk about that on this podcast. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I talked about it on the other one, but I feel like dreams are just alternate realities. When you have realistic dreams, it's basically your subconscious or some higher being showing you how your life could have gone if you chose a different path. I don't think, I won't say necessarily it shows you the path you should have taken or the path that you shouldn't have taken, but just, it shows you in general, or how you're living your life in another universe, in a multiverse, something like that. I mean, I believe in stuff like that too. I mean it's kind of hard to bag, but I mean it makes sense to me, so I'm going to share that with you. Now we're going to kind of jump onto a different topic right now, and it's no one sees someone as the same way, or no one sees something the same way that someone else will. And I'd say I started thinking like this 2 years ago. I was just in the kitchen cooking, and I was like, hey, this to me, this is black. Like, this is the color black. We all learn this is black. Now, you could be completely colorblind and not know it. So this black, you will know this color is black, but like you will know the name black. But this is what black looks like. Black to you, to your eyes, it looks green. But it. You grew up and you were taught, hey, this is black, this is black, this is black. So to you, it's normal. It's normal to everybody, but to you, this is what black looks like. This is what black looks like. But the actual color green, you don't think that black is green, but the way the color green looks, that's how you learned that black is. You know what I'm saying? I know it's kind of hard to explain. I know some of you probably get it, some of you probably don't get it. I know it's kind of hard to bag. Mm. But yeah, there's also that. And there's also just like, I was thinking how like no one physically like sees things the same. Like, say, me and my friend, we're walking together. Let's say I have four friends. We're walking together. We're all looking at the same thing. I say, hey, look here. We're all looking here at the same time. Now, this car drives by. Let's say a white Nissan drives by. Perfect condition. Drives by. And let's say it has a little logo on the side. And by this Nissan, there's also a guy walking. So the Nissan's going this way, and the guy's walking this way. Let's just say this. So I pointed out, and we all are explaining what I see. So let's say I just see the Nissan with the logo with the guy, and let's say the guy has a black top hat. Yep. Now my friend, he sees the same thing, perfectly fine white Nissan guy, but in what he saw, he didn't see the top hat. Or he saw the top hat, but he thought the top hat was, let's say, a weird box-shaped afro, like a high top afro. That's what he saw. He saw a high top afro instead of a top hat. Now, the other friend, he sees the car, but he didn't see the guy. Now, we're all looking the same exact direction, but his general focus wasn't on the guy, so he didn't see the guy. Now, the other friend, he sees the car, he sees the guy with the top hat, but the logo on the side of the car, to him, in his eyes, he thought it was a damage. He thought it was some kind of damage, some kind of dent on the car. All right? And that just shows you how differently people can see things. Just like we can all be looking at the same thing, but see different things. See just certain things stand out to certain people. Everyone's brain works different. And that's where I want to jump into knowledge versus intellect and things like that. And, how being smart is just perception. I mean, a lot of things are just perception. Beauty is perception. Everything is perception. Like, you may think you're smart, but that's your perception. I mean, a lot of people might think you're smart, but that's how they see you. But I mean, not everyone's gonna think you're smart. It might just be the way you talk. I mean, humans live off of bias. It might just be because they know you, they think you're smart, or just because they know you that they think you're stupid. But let me tell you, what is smart? What is smart? Because a lot of people go by, oh my gosh, if you don't have all A's, I'm smarter than you because I have all A's. But the way I see it, school, being smart in school is not being smart. That's knowledge that's being fed to you by another man. You're basically just spitting the knowledge out of your mouth that someone else threw up into your ears. This is not your own knowledge. You didn't go out, you didn't go learn this by yourself. What Albert Einstein learned, he learned that himself. He went out, he created equations. You're not creating equations. You're having someone create equations for you, tell you how to do the equations, how they should be done, what the right answer should be. And you go with that. You just remember it. That is not your knowledge. That doesn't make you any smarter. That just makes you better at remembering information than the next man. But when you actually go out and you discover a new kind of stone, you discover a new kind of animal, you discover a cure to something, then you are smarter than the next man who hasn't been able to do that. But if you're just being fed information and you're remembering it better than somebody, that doesn't make you smarter than them. That also doesn't make you more knowledgeable, because it's not your knowledge. If it's not your knowledge, then it's not really knowledge. It's not really knowledge. If it's because anyone can be fed knowledge, you're just better at remembering it. They know it too in the back of their head. They just don't remember. If their brain's refreshed, boom. I guess they're as smart as you. They're as smart as you, huh? No. Like, and that's one thing that gets me so mad, because like a lot of people think I'm stupid. I'm like, also, it's my work ethic in school. I just don't have work ethic in school. I used to be straight A's. I used to have good grades, but became a certain point where I stopped caring, and because one of the teachers said, hey, no matter what, up until high school, you're gonna keep passing your class, pass to the next grade even if you fail. So I took that. I was like, oh, I don't need to try to pass. I don't care. And now I just work hard enough to get my grades passing. I don't plan on going to college. So if I graduate, I can go to do what I want. I want to go to culinary school and be a chef. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to pass all my classes, my math classes and reading classes to do that. I got that diploma. I'm good. And now also, like, here's my take on it. That, smartness is just perception, because you can take the two most smart people in the whole world, right? Two smartest scientists in the whole world. And now here's the subject in the middle. Here, you split it. This person has their facts. This person has their facts. And they're both fighting, and they're clashing, and they're disagreeing. You're not going to say the other guy's stupid just because he doesn't agree with this guy, because they're fighting over what's right, what's wrong, what's right, what's wrong, right? You're going to call the other guy stupid? You're going to call one of them stupid because they don't agree with the other one, right? It doesn't make sense. Smartness is just perception. Smart, because it's just the way you see other people and how they see things. Because I'm sitting here talking to you guys. Some people will say, oh, he sounds stupid. Some people will say, oh my God, he's so open-minded, right? People have different opinions. That's why I'm saying smartness is nothing but perception. And a lot of things in this world. We're not even talking about smartness anymore, but everything is just perception, and a lot of things are biased, and we're all hypocrites in a way. We're all hypocrites in a way, because now let me tell you something. I always feel so crazy when I say this, because I know I don't try to be, but I'm a hypocrite. I do believe in ghosts. I believe in supernatural. I believe almost anything is possible. people. Now, if someone ever comes to me, because people have, and say, hey, I live with ghosts, I talk to ghosts, I see ghosts, all this, there's ghosts in my house. I'm like, oh, this person's crazy. But then again, it's so much more hypocritical because when I was younger, I had a ghost encounter. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I had these many ghost encounters through this many times in my life. No, I mean, I swear it was just that one house. And now also I have something to back it up as well. The town I'm from, born and raised, I don't live there anymore, but I lived there for 11 years, New Haven, Connecticut. Now, if you want to look up Midnight Mary, she's the urban legend for New Haven, Connecticut, which her grave, her tombstone actually lies there in one of the graveyards, which my dad took me to see, Midnight Mary. So the story goes something along the lines of, she hit her head on the stove and she passed out. Now, they didn't have the technology to determine whether she was dead or alive, and you can be alive and not have a pulse, at the moment. I had a brother who was pronounced stillbirth. He was pronounced dead and whatever, but it took him about an hour. They got him breathing and all that. He had to stay in ICU for 1 month. So, there can be no signs of heartbeat or breathing or anything like that, and the person can still be alive. Now, they thought she was dead, so they took her and they buried her in the backyard. And she was alive, so she's in there. She's scratching, screaming, the coffin, and they dig her up or whatever. About time they dig her up, she's already suffocated, and then she's dead, and they just see all the blood, and her nails are all ripped off and bleeding, and there's just so much scratches and stuff on the coffin, on the inside of the coffin. And it's something said like, if you go to that graveyard and you stay at like midnight, then you're cursed and you're gonna die in the next day, years, something like that. Now, I didn't go in the graveyard. We drove past, and it was also like only 9 at night, so we were safe either way. It doesn't really matter. But New Haven, Connecticut, that town is known for being haunted. So I really thought that house was haunted, and not the whole house. The bottom was fine. It was like a 2-family house. So there's like a living room, bathroom, attic, bedrooms upstairs, and then there was a living room, bathroom, basement and stuff downstairs. Now, everyone in the house is asleep. Everyone's in the room sleeping, and I'm the first one up. I'm always the first one up. Even now, I wake up 5, 6 in the morning. So I'm walking upstairs, and the battery, boom, flies down the stairs from the living room. Now, when you go up the stairs, it just opens right to the living room. I go up there, no one's up there. No one's up there. Everyone's in the room sleeping. I checked. Everyone's in the room sleeping, and no one woke up until about 12 o'clock. That's when everybody woke up, 12, 1, because it wasn't a school day or anything like that. And there have been instances where I'm like trying to yank like a piece of clothing from my clothing pile, and it just won't yank out. The bathroom up there, my bad, but the bathroom up there, it was always dim. Like, the light was always dim, and it would flicker sometimes. Even if you would change the light bulb to a brighter light bulb, it would always just be dim. It didn't matter. You would take that same light bulb, put it somewhere, it would be bright. You put it in that socket, it's dim and it's flickering. Like, that's how creepy that house was. And I mean, but that's the only ever paranormal kind of encounter I've ever had. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I had more, but even though I've went through that myself, if someone else was to tell me that they went through something like that, I would be like, you're crazy, right? You're crazy. And that's another thing. We just always subconsciously believe people are lying. I know I do. I've always believed that people are lying. And to me, it's like, I don't believe you're lying unless you can prove it to me. And you can come to me with proof, but most times proof is not even enough for me. Like, I don't, I'm not moved by proof. I don't know. It's just so weird. You guys want to know something I really find very, very weird? Is that, people think they're so smart and that they know everything there is about everything that there is. But when I tell you we know nothing, because we literally we know more about the surface of the moon, a planet that we've been to once or twice. Or the moon's not a planet, the moon's just a moon, but I'm gonna call it a planet just for the sake of it. But a planet that we've only been to about once or twice, 3 times at most. I don't know how many times we've been to the moon. I'm pretty sure it's once or twice. Or oh my god, hot take, I don't believe we actually went to the moon. I don't believe we actually went to the moon. But look, let me finish what I'm saying, then we're gonna get to that, right? Let me just write that down here. No moon. So hold on, I forgot what I was gonna say. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the surface of our own Earth. And not even that, but what secrets does the Earth hold aside from physical appearance, like all the ecosystem and the geography and all that? Aside from that, what does the world hold? Now, I believe that there are other creatures. Let's say there could be invisible creatures in the room with me right now that I can't see. 4D, 5D, 6D creatures the human eye can only see in up to 3D. We can see 2D, we can see 3D. We cannot see 4D. We are not evolved enough to see 4D. Also, do we evolve more? Or do we stay how we are now? Because the theory of evolution, we evolve up from monkeys to humans. So do we evolve into a higher up species, or do we stay as humans, right? But the color also, aside from us only seeing in 3D, our color cones are color receptors. We have probably the least out of a lot of animals next to dogs. Also, dogs are not colorblind. Dogs do not just see in black and white. Dogs can also see other colors. They just have way less color receptors than humans do. So dogs can actually see in color, but they're more kind of just dim, and they just see a less variety, but not just black and white. Myth bust right there. But yeah, it depends how many color cones. Like there's, I think it's the pistol shrimp. I'm not very sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's some kind of shrimp that has a whole bunch of color receptors, so they can see millions of other colors that are not visible to the human eye. To the human eye, it's just strictly invisible. Now, look, there can be someone standing right in front of me right here. That is a color that my eyes cannot pick up, because the simple fact that I'm human and I don't have enough color receptors to be able to see this color. So there are other colors that exist that we are just not able to see. So the air is not invisible. The air is a color. The air has color to it. We we just can't see it because we don't have enough color receptors. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. And also, let me just fun fact: girls actually do have more pain receptors than men. So that's why girls cry more if something happens to a man, something happens to a girl. It hurts more to the girl. Literally, they can't help it. They literally scientifically can't help it. They have more pain receptors. Back on topic. Back on topic. The world consists about 97% of world water. Only 7% of that water, 7 to 10% of that water has been explored. That means only 7 to 10% of the whole world has been explored, bro. That's just crazy to bag, because the ocean is most of the world, and we also haven't explored all of the grasslands, or just all of the what do you call it, physical land of the world. So we don't know anything that the world holds. There can be civilizations. There are civilizations we haven't found out in the water. Mermaids, all that. Those are probably real. The city of Atlantis, I believe that's real. Oh, they're definitely phonies of it, but there's probably a real one somewhere. And it's the fact we can't travel all the way down there, and our technology can go but so far, because there's a point where it will crush anything that goes down there. I mean, just the way that animals are evolved to live in these unlivable living conditions, like blobfish, they have no bones or anything, so the water just it can't crush them. They don't have bones, right? And that's the thing. Anytime you see a blobfish and it's pink and it's all soggy, that's because it's taken out of that high water pressure, and it just collapses because it doesn't have that pressure to keep it held together, keep its form. All right. But just to think that there are so many things, so many creatures that we have not discovered makes you think, what is out there? What is out there? What else don't we know? Because we know 7%. We know 7%. That's it. We know 7% out of 100. I mean, that's less than an F. That's an F minus. That's how much we know. If we had to give a quiz about everything about the world, we'd get a 7%. Because that's how much we know, and that's scary. That's literally scary. But now, stemming from that, I want to say, we think we know so much about the afterlife and religion and all that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to, take away from anyone's religion, but I'll just say that, I mean, it's stupid, because the same thing where I say, if someone says they've seen a ghost, you'll say they're crazy. But a guy comes to you and says, hey, this spirit told me that they're God. They made the planet. They made you. They did this. They had someone part the Red Sea in their mother. They birthed a human who was also not human, and he got crucified and all this, right? Because God told them to say this. Now, if someone comes to you and says, hey, a spirit told me to tell you this, you're going to be like, yo, you're crazy, bro. Get out of my face. But a spirit, God, told this man to tell the world that he said this, and we all believe him. Just bag it. Just bag it. Because nowadays, if someone came to you and said, hey, not God, because, I mean, God is a spirit, yeah? But if someone told you a spirit told them to do something, you're going to be like, you're crazy. So why believe a person that says, God said this? Why believe it? Because as a human race, we rely on someone to follow. I mean, we have presidents, senators, mayors, things like that. We rely on a leader subconsciously. Maybe you're like, hey, I don't want nobody to lead me. I'm my own person. Yeah, people think like that, but subconsciously, we all want a leader. Moms, dads, role models, people we see on TV. I want to be like that. We want a leader. We want a leader. So if someone comes to us and tells us, hey, we have a leader, we have someone to lead us, you're like, oh my gosh, finally, thank you. That's why people believe in God, because they want a leader. Not because they truly believe, but because subconsciously they need someone to lead them through the right path. It gives them faith. It gives them hope for a better life. That's what it is. It's nothing but hopefulness, nothing but hopefulness, and hope for a leadership, for someone to come take them off their feet and give them a better life. That's what it is. That's all I gotta say about that. But afterlife, that's always been a crazy topic for me. What's the afterlife like? I believe in reincarnation. I believe in all the possibilities. I believe in the heaven and hell. I believe in the reincarnation. But the biggest thing for me is something I've actually been really scared of when I was younger is, dying and, being in the coffin. And, I'm aware in my mind, I'm dead. But I see nothing but darkness. It's like I'm not living. I don't have a heartbeat, but I can see. And it's just darkness for the rest of my life, and I'm just sitting there in darkness. And that's always been a big fear for me, right? But I want to know what truly happens after you die. Where do you go? What happens? Does your mind run? Does your mind keep running? Or no? Do you just see darkness is the only true way to not sit there in darkness, to be, what do you call it? Burned, I guess, whatever it's called, cremated, right? Be cremated, or yeah, just what happens? Are you reincarnated? Because I'd love to be reincarnated. And those people that say they're reincarnated, you know, some of them I believe them, some of them I just don't. But some of them I believe them. I'm like, okay, reincarnation makes sense. But and then it goes against because I know it probably sounds like I'm not religious. I am religious. I'm just not. I'm not like a follower. Like, I believe certain things, certain Bibles say, and I'm also not tied down to one religion. So I study other religions and I take pieces from whatever makes the most sense, and that's what I believe in. Also, what backs up with science, things that can be physically proven and stuff like that. That's what I believe in. I'm not just gonna go off of somebody's word, because like I said, I'm very bad with just believing people. Like, I need proof, and even proof is not proof enough for me most times. But I really do want to know what happens after death. And people will tell you, hey, I died and I came back, this is what happened. But can you believe them? That's the thing with believing people. It's always just so hard, because some people lie, some people are just crazy. You don't know which one. You don't know if they're telling the truth. And that's not something you can't prove. There are so many people that come back. They say they came back from death. They seen this. God told them this. The devil told them this. This is what hell was like. But you can't believe them, because they literally cannot prove it. They literally can't prove it. They don't have video footage. That's the only way you could prove it. Only way. But with all that said, I know this podcast is, shorter than any other ones. I wouldn't say it's rushed, but it's kind of rushed. Also, stay tuned. I'm going to be getting a video camera soon and a wireless mic. And we're going to start doing prank videos. So 2 videos ago, or 1 video ago. Oh, yeah. My most recent video was a prank video. It's very short, like 2 minutes. But, my friends and I, we were messing around in the store. So you can get a little taste of how my prank videos are going to be before I start posting those. But I feel like that would actually grow my fan base. So support me through that, and I will support you. Support me. But hey, with that said, you guys, bro, it's 12 in the morning right now, but you guys have a good rest of your day. It's probably going to get posted today, maybe, because podcasts are very easy for me to edit usually. So have a good day. Peace.